Yo, 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 what is up? It is your boy Gio from Gaming with Gio, and today I am here with you guys to do a top unit of Shadow Faction video. I just finished our last video, so if you didn't get a chance to see it, just know we are doing a giveaway on this account to win a super dope account. It's like level 110, it has 8 stars, 7 stars. Maybe we'll go look at it later. I showed it in my last video, so if you want to see it, just go look at my last video. I'll have it down below or something. Or a $20 Google Play gift card. You just have to subscribe, turn on notifications, comment below, be active for 2 weeks, and then we'll randomly pick a winner for both of those out of our most active subs at the end of the 2 weeks. But let's just get right into it. We're going to rank these heroes off 1 through 5 on who I think are the best. You know who I think are the best? Who are the best Shadow, or I usually call them Death, but I guess they're Shadow. I don't know. I'd rather just still call them Death, but Death, Shadow, whatever, it doesn't matter. Heroes right now. Alright, so when you're like, hey, yo, Gio, I just started playing, which heroes from Death Faction should I 6-star? Which heroes from Death Faction can I take above 6-star? Because some heroes you don't want to take above 6-star because then you can't use them as fodder anymore and it's a waste, right? So all of them can go up to 6-star and they can just be fodder, right? And then so you have like the best heroes in the game though. Those are the ones that you want to wait for, you want to save up on, you want to strive for. You can take 7, 8, 9-star, okay? So, starting with number 5, let's go, let me see. Actually, I should have probably planned this video ahead of time. This is actually pretty difficult. Alright, so we'll start with number 5, who I want to say is Karma. Alright? I just kind of pulled that out. But Karma she's mid-tier hero. She's definitely not a top-tier hero. What she has going for her is, where is it? She has a 30% chance to petrify the, any backline hero when she hits for 2 rounds, which is actually, it's kind of pretty much just like a stun. They stop moving, they can't do anything for those 2 rounds. That's dope, right? She does that. She has 136% of attack, damage against backline enemies as well, so she does hit 4 units, and has a 30% chance to pretty much stun them for 2 rounds. And that's why when people are dealing with like Gurkies, stuff like that, and you're dealing with those high damage like Gurky teams, you can't beat them. You're dealing with Margaret teams like on Tower or Campaign. You have a Karma or any other unit that can petrify, stun, silence even is okay, freeze, like Ice Blink, and so you can kind of stop them from doing that damage as best as you can. She can help you with that. Alright, and then she reduces target's dodge for 3 rounds when dealing damage, so maybe a Mickey counter there. When Mickey used to be good, I'm not sure if people used Karma to counter her, but I mean, if you're going up against a Fortress team, they have like a, 20% dodge chance in Tower or whatever. You can't beat them. So when she hits them, their dodge will be reduced by 24% for 3 rounds. That's huge when going up against a Fortress team, right? In the arena, when they have the aura. Increase hit by 35 and attack by 35. So hit by 35 is good, which means she'll miss less. So like I was saying, this is kind of like a Mickey counter, Fortress kind of team. So even if they do have good dodge, 35% chance that she'll hit them, and you kind of take that away from the dodge, so their dodge is less. It's pretty much just normal again. Attack by 35%, so her attack just went up. While below 50% health, increases attack by 80% for 3 rounds. Skill can be triggered only once. And then track goes up by 80. Health goes attack goes up by 80% when health's below 50%, which is pretty cool too. All right, so that was the 5th hero. I want to say I'm not sure we're gonna do this for. I have the first 3 planned out for sure. The 4th and 5th there might be some controversy on. Let's go. Backline gains armor break. Okay. It just depends. Okay, alright. So what I want to do is field. No, I don't. Me personally, well, it's hard to say. I was trying to decide between Bone Carver and Fields, or if I even wanted to move Karma into 4th and Bone Carver Fields for 5th. We'll review both of them and say that they're tied, right? Maybe we'll do top 6, okay? So, Field doesn't do lots of damage, right? 98% of attack damage against 4 random enemies. He does have a 80% chance to stun assassins for 2 rounds, so maybe if you're going up, I don't know, an assassin marauder and a team majority with assassins, then maybe you do want to use him for that. That stun would work there, and that'd be pretty solid. If you're going with a team with like 3 or 4 assassins, then definitely that 80% chance would stun 2, 3, maybe even all 4 of them. For sure, and that'd be dope. Not tons of damage because, as you can see, his base attack at 6 stars, 8k. So if he does 98% of that, his hits are, right, like pretty much just 8k. For 8400, 90% is 8k. So not too much damage, but he does hit 4, which is kind of crowd control if you can get his attack up a little bit more. And then each attack is a 50% chance to stun a target for 1 round. So 50% chance is pretty huge when it comes to stun. He's stunning every time he attacks, and I want to say it's his single attack. But it might, yeah, I want to say it's his single. So his regular attack has a 50% chance to stun whoever he hits for that 1 round, and that's pretty much huge. That's crowd control for days there. Even though it is only 1 round, that's just because the percentage of how much, like, the chance of stun is so high compared to usual stunners. And then he deals extra 75% of attack damage on stun foes. So with everyone being stunned, not everyone, but if like these people are getting stunned, then he continues to hit them. He's doing even more damage. He's doing 75% more damage than that 98% damage he does like on his skill. So almost like what, 200% damage he's doing. Then his attack starts to get up there a little bit. Last, they increase armor break by 32 and attack by 30. Right, and so this goes up when he's 7, 8, 9 starred. I honestly wouldn't suggest 7, 8, 9 starring him. He's not like that good of a hero. Strictly situational if you're like looking for stuns. But definitely he's an okay hero. He's a solid hero. Now for attack, if you're going for attack, Bone Carver would be where it's at. He has deals 192% of attack damage against 2 random backline enemies. Gains 25% armor break for plus 2 rounds. Armor's break. I can't talk. Sorry, I'm trying to go too fast. So, almost 200% of his attack, that's like 14,000 attack at 6 star base stats on 2 people, right? And then gains that 25% armor break. Those are going to make his hits even harder next time he does that skill. And then the time after that, he does and they can stack. So if since it's only 2 rounds, they probably won't stack because it'll have worn out. But increases armor break by 64%, HP by 10%. So he has even more armor break now, and that stacks with the Shadow Siphon. And so whenever an enemy dies, gains 25% crit. Each attack grants self with 21% crit damage. So Bone Carver does damage, right? This is all he does. He does damage. He gets in there, he hits them, increases his armor break so he can hit him even harder the next time. He gets crits with armor break. He's hitting them super hard because of the armor break, getting crits on that, and it's hitting even harder because of the armor break. So Bone Carver hits pretty hard, and that says a lot. considering he comes up from 4-star. So that's that, alright? Now let's get into our top 3, okay? So Karma, Field, Bone Carver, I would say... I wouldn't maybe even throw Lutz in there, but honestly, I don't like him all that much, so I'll leave him out, maybe 7th place, to be honest. But Lutz is a mid to low to mid tier average hero as well. As long with Fields, Bone Carver. I probably want to do Fields for 6th, Karma 5th, Bone Carver 4th, right? Aiden, I want to do 3rd. 3rd for Shadow Death Faction is Aiden. He deals 84% of attack damage against all enemies, alright? So has a 75% chance to silence warrior foes for 2 rounds. So if you're going up against an Asmodel, and they hit hard, they hit crazy, 75% chance to stun an Asmodel, a Berea, now a Sigmund. So definitely all these new OP like tanks, these tanks they're coming out with, well, like the Berea, the Sigmund, this Aiden can help with those. You know, he'll 75% chance is a huge chance. Silence means they can do the regular hit still, but they can't use their skills. So for with Asmodel, that would be huge because his skills where all of his damage comes from. Most of it, at least. I don't want to say all of it. I wasn't being literal, but whenever an ally hero dies, gains 20% armor break and 15% attack. This is why people usually have Aiden in 6th spot because they usually die last. They're less likely to die as long as they have a decent amount of like armor and health. If they're like weak, obviously they're gonna take a few. They're gonna take a few hits and then die. But if he's a tough like 6-star, 7-star, 8-star, 9-star Aiden, which people still do, you know, he's a solid hero. He's not OP, he's not great, he's a good hero though. He will stay alive, he will be the last to die, as long as it's not a hero as long as you're not going up against another team that hits just back row harder than front. He will gain more armor break and more attack, which makes this skill here even worse when he does even more crowd control and just bashes the rest of the team. Increase armor break by 32%, HP by 25, and attack by 25 again. So his attack goes up again. After death, deals 40% attack damage against all enemies. So Aiden, as well as doing lots of attacking, he's petrifying, he's silencing warrior foes, which is good up against the new OP warriors that they got coming out. His attack just increases when all of his teammates are dying. That's how a lot of people used to get soloed by just Aiden. They would have just so back in the day, right? You'd see teams with nothing else except for Aiden in 6th spot, and then maybe all other death heroes or all over Rainbow to get the aura. They'd all die quick, right? And then you'd have like a 9-star Aiden just wreck everyone else, alright? So that was insane, but that's kind of calmed down now. Let's go to 2nd spot in the Death Shadow faction. I'm going to go with Walter, right? Okay. Walter is a badass, and that's all there is to it. His poison is insane. He deals so much damage. 190% of attack damage against two random backline enemies, dealing 50% 6% of attack damage each round for 6 rounds. There's a 45% chance to stun it for 2 rounds. Right? So, he can stun, 45% chance. I think that's what that means. I don't know why they said it and not the enemy. Maybe they ran out of characters to fit in this box. But the enemy, 45% chance to stun. That 6 rounds is huge because he can stack. Walter can stack his poison. So that 50%, 6% attack damage can be going twice, right? So he has 112% of attack damage going each time. His attack's pretty high, right? So, and that's every round. So even at base stats at 6-star, 10,000 damage every round for 6 rounds. That's 60,000 damage in that 6 rounds. And that's not even including the 20,000 he takes out initially when he hits them, right? Okay, and then armor break by 32% chance, 32%, and attack by 30, which is gonna make these hits even harder. That armor break, the attack's already included in his base stats, but the armor break is not, and it's gonna make him hit even harder with the with his initial hit. Attack as to poison target, dealing 38% of. So in this one as well. So his regular attacks have a 100% chance to poison. I can't talk this video, I'm so sorry. Dealing 38% of attack damage for 6 rounds, which also can stack with this, can stack with itself, everything can stack with each other. And he's dealing tons of poison damage. He does DOT, that's what Walter is. He does DPS as well, but he is damage over time, and he's the best at it, really. He's the best at it in the game. If you ask me, Walter is a badass. He poisons so much, it's ridiculous. While below 50% health, poison 2 random backline enemies, dealing 80% of attack damage for 6 rounds. Skill can be triggered only once. Alright, so as soon as he hits below 50, 2 random backline enemies get poisoned, dealing 80% damage for 6 rounds, which also can stack with everything else. He's dealing like, you know, like if you like theoretically, he could be dealing 300, 400% of attack damage each round. That's how his damage adds up. All of his stuff stacks. That's how Walter's a badass. Number 1, we want to go with Bloodblade. Bloodblade is OP AF. Bloodblade is a new hero. He's bad. He's a bad dude. He will solo your whole team. Without a doubt, he's a bad dude. Alright. And I really thought I like Walter. Bloodblade's just new. He's improved. He's like a new OP hero. These guys are overpowered right now, and so there's not really a whole lot we can do. Doesn't take anything away from Walter, though. He's a bad dude, too. Alright, so 128% of attack damage against 3 random enemies, dealing 36% of attack damage. And an extra 48% of attack damage on ranger foes each round for 3 rounds. Right, so he bleeds them pretty much. So he cuts them 128% of attack damage against 3 random enemies. So 36% of attack damage because the bleeding for 3 rounds, but an extra 48% on top of that 36 for ranger foes. Alright? And then each attack's 100% chance to bleed the target, dealing 35% of attack for 4 rounds. Gains 14% armor break for 4 rounds. So his bleed can stack as well, and then he's dealing even more because of his 14% armor break. Increase hit by 25%, attack by 25%, armor break by 28%, dealing extra 50% attack damage on bleeding foes. This is when this gets crazy, because he's hitting everyone and making them bleed, right? This skill hits 3, and they all bleed, right? This skill hits 1, they bleed, right? And then so he's dealing 50% of extra damage so next time he does this, he's dealing 170% attack damage, right? And then his armor break goes up by 28. That makes his hits even harder. His hits increased by 25%, which means he misses way less, right? And hits, attack, armor break. His attack also went up, but that's included in his base stats. And then life drain. Whenever an enemy hero dies, he'll suffer 120% of attack HP. So when you get him up to like 9-star, I don't know how much his attack gets up to, but his base, you can get him to like, 15, 17k attack at 6-star with the right equips and stuff like that. So he's healing himself, only 55k life. Or like, it'd probably be more around 70, 80k if you have all that armor on. He's healing himself 120% of that. So like 20k even at 6-star heal every time someone else dies. And that's going to happen because if you have him right, he's going to kill. And it happens quick. Alright guys. That was a quick video. I was trying to do it really fast. It actually took longer than even expected. It was a long video. Actually, I don't know why I said quick video. But we're going to finish this off here now. I guess that made no sense. I'm so sorry I couldn't talk. Again, I want to remind you guys to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below when done, so you guys can be entered in the giveaways. We're super hyped about it. I can't wait, guys. It's going to be 2 weeks from today. Today is the 10th, I believe. I'm not sure. I'll figure that out. It'll be 2 weeks from today. And so we'll go back through the hero rankings. I want to do Field 6th, Karma 5th, Bone Carver 4th, Aiden 3rd, Walter 2nd, Bloodblade 1st, right? You guys can let me know down below anything if you disagree with anything. I completely understand. And please don't be upset Dominator Glenn didn't make it. Or please don't be upset Bay didn't make it on the list. Really? Alright. Thank you guys so much. You guys have a good one. And I'll catch you later. whenever I can figure out how to turn this thing off. Alright. Catch you guys later. Have a good